Shelley Hughes here, Senator for District F, standing in front of the state capitol in Juneau. Alaska is the most dangerous state in the nation. We have some of the highest rates of violent crimes, sexual crimes, property crimes in the country. Yet some claim the rates of offenders reoffending, that is, the recidivism rates, have gone down since the passage of SB 91. So we should leave our criminal statutes alone, except for maybe a few minor tweaks. I disagree. I vehemently disagree. If there's any truth at all to recidivism rates declining since the passage of SB 91, it's for three major reasons. Number one, offenders aren't being arrested because what was a crime before has been downgraded, reclassified, and a number of things that were crimes are now just ticketable violations. Secondly, offenders aren't being rearrested because law enforcement is overwhelmed by the number of calls and simply cannot keep up with increase in criminal activity. Thirdly, offenders aren't being arrested all the time because many Alaskans aren't even bothering reporting the crimes due to the lack of response. It's true, we do need more officers and more prosecutors, by the way, so those guilty are actually convicted. But I'll tell you what else we desperately need. We need our criminal statutes majorly revised, not just tweaked. We need them overhauled so officers, prosecutors, and judges have the tools to halt the current catch and release of criminals. If you're someone who says, well, why overhaul the laws? Crime was on the uptick before SB 91 passed in 2016. Well, you're right, it was, but it's gotten worse, not better since then. So we need to do two things. First, we need to roll back the criminal statutes to pre-2016. Secondly, we need to do things differently within our prisons than how we were doing them before 2016. So we aren't churning out inmates who are more dangerous when they exit jail than when they enter jail. These two components are what I call justice for all, justice for victims who were wrongly sidestepped in the 2016 reform, and justice for offenders, giving them an opportunity behind the bars, not out on the streets, to turn their lives around, to increase the chances that they'll exit jail in better shape than when they entered. These two steps will equal greater safety in our communities. The first step is short-term, immediate, as far as safety, and needs to happen this year. Get the offenders off the street to protect the victims and make our communities safe again. How do we accomplish this? Pass the governor's criminal justice bills and SB 12. These bills would tighten our criminal statutes to address violent, sexual, and property crimes. These bills pertain to the sentences in prison and also put reins on offenders during the pretrial, probation, and parole periods. So that's the short term, the immediate solution for safety now. Pass these bills this year and get the offenders off the streets. Now, the second step is long-term, moving forward as far as safety for our communities. We must make sure we have the opportunity for offenders behind the bars to take a different direction, to correct their lives. After all, it is the Department of Corrections. We need substance abuse treatment in jail, job training, faith-based options, all those things to promote a better path forward. Why should offenders sleep half the day while they're in jail, watching television, playing cards? They should be working every day to turn their lives around. So when they get out, they won't reoffend. So when they get out, they won't be back to terrorizing our neighborhoods. They won't be back to burglarizing. They won't be back to harm others, to wreak havoc in our communities. These are two things we're focused on in the Senate. One more thing. Some people in the Capitol are talking about smart justice as code for a partial repeal, for tweaks, for saving money on public safety. Well, I'll tell you what I think smart justice is. Smart justice is getting offenders off the streets. Smart justice is safer communities because we got the offenders off the street. Smart justice is giving troopers and police officers and prosecutors their tools back through stronger laws. Smart justice is making sure victims are a priority and are protected and that they receive justice. Smart justice is making sure offenders are held to a higher standard while they're serving their sentences. one in which they are charged with correcting their pathway. Smart justice is understanding that the cost for better public safety is not an expense we should spare. And most importantly, this year, smart justice is tougher laws, my friends. It's passing the 5 crime bills so offenders are held accountable for their crimes. If you support this way forward, an overhaul of our statutes this year, not tweaks, not a partial repeal, please share this video challenging folks to watch it. Tell legislators you want SB 32, 33, 34, 35, and 12 passed. Tell legislators you're done with Alaska being at the top of the charts in crime. And tell legislators to make Alaska safe again. Thank you for watching this, and please share it with others.